This is gonna be episode 4 of the 450 horsepower Vitara D16 build, and I'm back in the car, no engine. I built the short block into storage unit that I got, so I brought it with me. It's actually in the hatch of my Pilot. Just threw it back there. It's light enough to just carry around. It's pretty funny how small the engine is. But yeah, so I'm gonna try and install the short block. I have like 2 hours of daylight. It's raining, it's really nasty outside. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to get the short block, slide it into the car, mount it up to the trans, and maybe get at least one motor mount. Maybe the one all the way on that far side over there. I just want to get the short block in the car. I told myself I want to at least do that this weekend, so it'd be really cool if I could accomplish that. I'm gonna clean up the flywheel. I put some grease on here just to kind of prevent it from rusting up. Luckily, I was able to machine it on a brake lathe. I think I have a video of that. I'll try and get that in here if I can. Gonna spray off the pressure plate as well, just to make sure there's no trash. All right, that should be nice and clean. Wipe that down. Need to get that alignment tool before I stick it on there. So on the back of the block here, there's like this crankcase ventilation. I'm not sure what you want to call it. It's just this big black container thing that plugs into the back of the block here. But anyways, I'm gonna put a plug here and just delete that canister, because I'm gonna do like a custom crankcase ventilation for the valve cover. So I picked up this. It's just a rubber expansion plug. Got it from the parts store. It's 1-inch diameter. So I'm gonna put that plug in there, and as you tighten it down, it kind of expands that rubber plug. Hope it's the right size. Oh dang, it's perfect. You can't get any better than that. Put that plug in there. It looks like a 1/2 inch or maybe a 13mm. Alright, that's pretty freaking snug. Should have any issues with that? That should be good. The rain finally let up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and try and slide the engine onto the car. Probably have about maybe an hour of daylight left. It's getting dark pretty fast, so I'm gonna try and bust ass and get the motor somewhat mounted tonight. Alright, got 2 bolts in the bell housing, so now I'm going to work on putting on this side motor mount just to give the motor system support. Basically support its own weight, so I can take the jack out from under it. Just want to get this one mount. Alright, well, I guess she's officially in just in time, just right before dark. Probably had about 20 minutes to spare. So this definitely gives me a big head start for next weekend. Next weekend I should have more time to get this car running. But I'm just glad I got this out of the way. It was kind of a pain in the ass getting the input shaft lined up to the clutch, but it kind of just rocked it back and forth, went up and down with the jack, and finally lined it up. But yeah, it's officially in there. I just got that one mount right there holding it for now. Looks very, it's like very, it stands out. It's like highlighted in this engine bay. It's very bright, I guess. Clean looking. It don't look very clean on the engine stand, but in this engine bay it looks freaking clean. I guess that just about wraps it up for today. I'll be at it again this weekend. I'm just gonna make one long video, at least. I don't know, I'm trying to make longer videos, have more information in one video versus like 5-minute videos like I used to. So I'm gonna stop now, and I'll get back at it probably this coming weekend. Everyone have a good New Year's, and thanks for watching so far. Alright guys, welcome back. It's Saturday morning. It's a really nice day today, and I'm going to try really hard to get this car started. If not today, then probably tomorrow, but I really want to have the first start of this motor in this video, so I'm going to just try really hard to get that done. During the week, I had a chance to hook up the Got the slave hooked up, got the clutch hooked up, and the pedal's really stiff. I like the way it feels. Like, it actually feels like it's gonna do something. Let's see, I got the alternator hooked up, got this bracket up front with just the tensioner pulley right here. Just little things. I got like the oil pump sprocket on the bottom. Basically I just been kind of doing little things throughout the week, so I just really got to get the head on there, time it up and put the timing belt, get some oil in there, get an oil filter, put the sandwich plate on. Guess I'll set down the head gasket for now. Working on getting the sandwich plate on there. It actually comes with like a longer fitting to go down the middle of the sandwich plate, so I gotta work on getting the stock one out. So I got the sandwich plate on there. I'm just working on getting the oil pressure setting unit tightened down. I'll plug it in. And after this, I think I'll start putting the head on. So when I pulled the head off, I kind of like slid it out and got it all kind of messy, kind of dragged it out of the car. But to put it in, I don't want to damage the head studs. But luckily I have an awesome wife, and she's gonna help me set the head on the car. Try to be careful not to screw anything up. Get them torqued down and put some oil in it. We're getting really close to be able to start it. I need to put it like through the studs. That's how you like.
Hey you, look at me.
The holes here.
Look at me.
So it's too heavy with the turbo and the manifold, so we took that off. Now it's just the intake and the head. Thank you. Wife was able to help me set the head on there. I already got the manifold and the turbo bolted back up. I've got to run around a little bit. I've got to go get the nuts for the ARP studs. They're at the storage unit. I got to go around get some fresh oil, new oil filter, and rent a torque wrench because I forgot to bring one from work. So yeah, we'll run some errands, get some stuff, and I'll be back to finish this up. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start torquing down the head. I went over the ARP instructions, and it said to apply this ARP Ultra Torque Fastener Assembly Lubricant. Basically, it's supposed to have a more accurate torque reading, and it allows, I wouldn't say that you get it right the first time, that you don't have to heat cycle it if you use this lubricant. So I'm gonna coat every stud with this lubricant, set down the washers, and then start torquing down. It's a 12-point, 12 millimeter. That's what the ARP nut is for these studs. Alright, got some lube on the studs. I'm gonna go ahead and start laying down the washers. And with the leftover lube, I'll go ahead and put some on the nuts before I actually put them on the stud. I should have enough left over to do that too. I'm just gonna put a little bit of lube on every nut before I put it on. Just make sure it's really on there. Now I'm going to move on to torquing it, and again the ARP instructions say to do 60 foot-pounds with 3 equal passes. So I guess I'll split it up and I'll do a 20 foot-pound, 40, and then 60 foot-pound on the final pass. So right now I'm just going to run it down, hand tight I guess you can call it, before I start torquing. The lowest my torque wrench goes is actually 25 foot-pounds, so I guess I'm going to start off with 25, and then 40 and 60. So I noticed some of the head studs weren't evenly threaded in, because I had just done it by hand, like finger tight, but I guess some were just, it wasn't even. So I had to get a little Allen wrench and tighten the studs. Every stud has like a hex So that's I guess another way to make sure that they're the right way, because only the top should have the spot for an Allen head. So I just ran them all the way down, not torqued down or anything, just bottomed out, and now I got this the nuts back on there. I'm gonna start torquing down. This is gonna be the first pass. I'm just gonna, I didn't look up the sequence. I'm just gonna crisscross it like I always do. That should be good enough, just to crisscross. Right now it's set at 25 foot-pounds. Go back and forth so it clicks. Alright, so that's the first pass at 25 foot-pounds. Okay, so this is 40 foot-pounds. And this is the final pass, 60 foot-pounds. So I went ahead and just got a cheap Fram oil filter. I got this cheap O'Reilly 10W30. The idea is just to kind of break it in with this stuff, run it for, I don't know, 100 miles or something, maybe more or less. But basically just run it and then change the oil, put some better quality stuff in there. The stuff's gonna get drained out pretty quick anyway. So now it's time for the cherry on top. I've been waiting to show all this for a while. I've had it for probably a couple months now. But here it is. So this is a carbon fiber dipped valve cover. My buddy actually did this from the Late Model Tech. A little present, I guess, if you want to call it that. But yeah, it's pretty freaking awesome. But yeah, there it is. Carbon fiber dipped valve cover. Pretty freaking awesome. This is like the cherry on top. Go ahead and set that down. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so now I'm going to work on putting on the timing belt. On the cam gear, it actually says up on this little star sprocket here. It says up right here. And the head is actually tilted just slightly like this way. So the up should be facing forward just barely. Maybe just one tooth rotated counterclockwise and it's probably good. It's not perfectly up and down because the motor is actually slanted. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to set the top dead center from the crankshaft. You actually don't need the pulley on there. There's a little notch here on the crankshaft position pickup sprocket. So there's that notch here and you line it up with the little arrow that's on the oil pump right behind it. So if I move that belt out of the way, there's an arrow behind this belt. Oh man, I can't really pick it up. Okay, so you see the notch on the sprocket, and behind it on the oil pump there's another little line you can barely see it in the back, but you just gotta line that up. That's top dead center, that's where it needs to be. And you should be good to go with this. And also the cam sprocket being the up position where I showed you. From there, put the timing belt on, set the tension, tighten down the tensioner, and you should be good to go. It's a pretty simple timing belt setup. Got coolant in there, got oil. It's almost ready for the first start. I've got some like very temporary stuff rigged up. This isn't routed right. I've got like the some vacuum ports kind of looped in on themselves. I don't have the boost gauge hooked up or anything like that. The wastegate isn't hooked up. I'd even hook up the accessory belts on. I'm just right now, I just want to see it. I'm going to crank it, get some oil pressure going. I'll probably unplug the injectors now I think about it, just to stop it from firing. Keep in mind, the injectors are not hooked up. I just want to build oil pressure. Just going to crank it over. Alright, that should have been enough to build some oil pressure. Let's get some oil flowing through the motor. Let me hook up the injectors. I hope this is the right order. I didn't really mark them in what order they go on. Just kind of guessing. Alright, so it might start. I'm not sure if the injectors are plugged in the right order. Let's see what happens. Oh shit. Yeah, there it is, very first startup. It sounds really smooth. It doesn't knock, tick, or anything. It was just ran for a couple seconds. I still need to do some vacuum lines, hook up the boost gauge. The turbo doesn't even have a downpipe, so it just like all that smoke just spit right out the turbo. It's burning off all that WD-40. I was coating the block in to keep it fresh. But yeah, it's very, very close. Made a lot of progress today. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.